Hi, my name is Bridget and this is my submission for the Dugong 2 challenge portion of the challenge. Doing the dietary habits consultation with Xavier, who will be played by John. Hi Xavier, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thank you for coming in today to have a discussion with me.
Yep.
So first of all, I just wanted to quickly go through why it is that you're wanting nutrition advice. How can I help you?
I'm not quite sure where to start with my nutrition, and I thought it would help me achieve my goal of gaining 6 kilos of muscle in 4 months.
Yeah,
so
no
with
worries.
the right nutrition, it will hopefully be easier.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely
achieve.
a direct correlation between the food that you're eating and the results that you're seeing. So we can definitely do that for you. We can have a look. Is there something on my face? Okay, cool. So first thing that we have to do is go through a dietary habits questionnaire. I'm just going to need you to be open and honest with your answers so that we can have a good starting point, and then from there we can make some recommendations and things like that based on the Australian Guideline to Healthy Eating. I'm not a nutritionist, so I can give you a guide on where to go and areas to increase and things that you can improve on. But if you do need meal plans and more advice down that path later on, then you can get a referral from myself or from your GP to go see a dietitian.
Yep.
All right, beautiful. So what we're going to go through is, first of all, a dietary habits questionnaire. All right, so put your name up the top. And today's date. And your goal, it was to gain muscle?
Yeah, gain 6 kilos of muscle in 4 months.
And do you have any special dietary requirements that I need to be aware of? You don't have any allergies or anything like that? No? All right, starting with our vegetables. So how many serves of vegetables do you usually eat per day?
My mum is very health conscious and also has lots of vegetables with her evening meals, but I'd say my vegetable serves are just below sort of the recommendation.
Okay, all right, no worries. So you would say that you have maybe 2 to 3 serves per day?
Yeah, I feel like that's about right.
Okay. And servings of fruit. So bearing in mind a serve of fruit is an apple or banana, all right? It's about 2 apricots. Obviously 1 grape is not 1 serve of fruit. You have to have a couple of grapes for it to be considered 1 serve. Based on that, how many serves of fruit do you normally eat per day?
Not a lot really. I'd probably say 0 to 1 serves.
Okay. You don't have to. Okay, beautiful. How many serves of bread or cereals do you eat per day? So bread cereals, a slice of bread, half a cup of rice, half a cup of pasta or noodles, half a cup of porridge, if that gives a bit of a guide.
I think I have quite adequate bread and cereal for my current size and activity levels.
Beautiful. Thank you. Alrighty. And how many serves of dairy do you normally eat per day? So dairy in this case, like 2 slices of cheese, 3/4 of a cup of yogurt.
Well, I do like my yogurt and milk.
Yep.
So my dairy serves are still quite low though.
Quite low?
Yeah,
Alright.
quite low.
Alright, no problem. Thank you. And second last one, how many serves of meat or alternatives do you normally eat in a day? So That's your steak, your an egg, fish, tuna, legumes, beans, seeds.
You usually have probably adequate enough meat serves.
Okay,
So,
yeah, so you think, yep.
So,
We've got between 0 and 1, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, and 6 plus. Where do you think you fall in that range?
probably 2 to 3.
Okay, yep, thank you. Alrighty, last one. So we have our discretionary choices. So looking at, there's a list below and I'll give this to you to have a look at. How many discretionary choices do you think you have in 1 week? Alright, so you've got ice cream, processed meat, chips, plain biscuits, donuts, chocolates, soft drinks, cakes, hot chips, and then you've got over here your alcohols. So based on that, per week, how many do you think that you would
So I'd probably say 2 to 3 extra serves per day.
Okay.
So
2 to 3 serves per day?
Yeah, per day.
Okay,
So in
yep.
a week.
So you're looking at 10 plus serves per week?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright. So, thank you for that.
No problem.
So what we're going to do is we're going to compare your answers to what's recommended in the Australian Guideline to Healthy Eating. So you may have heard of the Australian Guideline to Healthy Eating before. It's basically, it's what it says that it is, all right? It's a guideline as to what an average Australian should be eating on a daily basis to stay healthy, all right? And that can be broken down into 5 food groups, which I'm sure you would have heard of before. You've got your vegetables and legumes and beans. You've got fruits, you've got your grains and cereals. Your meat, which includes fish, poultry, eggs, nuts and seeds. You've got your dairy, which is your milk, yogurts, cheese, and then you've got your discretionary choices, all right? So based on that, I have a little bit of a look through. So based on what you've told me today, you are eating 4 to 5 serves of vegetables per day. What I have here is a printout from the Australian Guideline to Healthy Eating recommended number of serves for adults. And you can see here it has categorised by age group the amount of vegetables and not just vegetables, but from each of the food groups that you should be eating. So you fall into this category here, between 19 and 50. All right, so we're going to go based off of that and compare it to the answers that you gave today. So starting at the top with the serves of vegetables that you normally eat, what's recommended, the standard rule of thumb is 5 serves of vegetables and 2 serves of fruit per day, all right? So because of your age group, you're actually recommended to have 6 serves of vegetables per day. All right. Your fruit intake, you said, was quite low. You said between 0 and 1 serves. As I mentioned, you should be eating roughly 2 serves of fruit per day. All right. Next, we have your grain cereals, which you said that you're eating about 4 to 5 serves per day. All right. So you should be looking to have about 6 serves per day, all right? And again, serves can be broken down into, it doesn't just have to be a slice of bread, it's rolls, it's rice, it's noodles, porridge, all those sorts of things. Next one we have is your meats, all right? So you should be eating, for a man of your age, up to 3 serves per day, all right? You said that you're eating roughly about that right now. You said that you're eating 2 to 3 serves per day, which is fantastic. You then have your dairy, your milk, yogurt, cheese, which you said that you enjoyed. So, but you said that I
don't have a lot of it.
You don't have a lot of it. All right, so 2 to 3 serves per day. Which is, that's actually right where you should be, okay? Because it's recommending that you have about 2.5 serves in your diet per day, all right? Then finally have your discretionary food group choices. that you're not allowed to, but that's recommended that you eat per day. And you said that you have between 0 and 3, all right, on a daily basis. So, 0 to 3 is what's recommended, all right?
Yep.
And you are having 10 plus serves per week. So it lines up, all right? So then let's have a quick look through. So some nice, easy changes that we can make from today.
Yeah.
Having a look here, you can see the differences between where your diet is and where your diet is recommended to be.
Yep.
So I'd like you to, first of all, one of the things that I could see that you were lacking was your fruit serves. So if you could start including some fruit into your snacks. So you said that you have 3 meals and 2 snacks a day.
Yep.
So if you could start introducing fruit in there, whether you have some fruit with your breakfast. You mentioned that you really like your yogurt, and you normally have a coffee for your breakfast. So if you wanted to have some fruit and yogurt, bit of muesli, that makes a really nice breakfast, along with your standard coffee. You can increase your fruit serves by, as I said, just changing out the other snacks that you're having throughout the day. Increasing your dairy serves, as we said, those two go hand in hand. That'll increase your dairy serves and your your dairy serves and your fruit serves. Let me have a quick look through. So as we mentioned at the start, you said that your goal was to put on muscle. The amount of food that you're eating and the quality of the food that you're eating has a direct correlation between what your body's doing, all right, and where you're going to see those results. So it's important for yourself as a male to make sure that you're having enough protein during the day, especially to align with your goals. So making sure that your protein and vegetable count is nice and high. So what we'll do now that we have your minimum, which is basically your Freya. What we can do now is we can have a look and find the extras that you're supposed to be eating. So what we have here, and it's found in the Eat for Health guide, is what you can put on top of the foundation diet to increase, so how many kilojoules that you're supposed to be increasing it by day. But we'll have a further look into that later on. What I wanted to go through now, as I was saying, was about how the food affects your body and your body's changes. It also affects your mental health as well, obviously. So the old saying that you know you get out what you put in, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but basically if you're eating foods that are high in saturated fats and salts and things like that, you're not going to be feeling really great. They do make you feel heavy and tired. They're certainly not going to make you feel motivated to go into the gym a couple of times a week. Alright, so what we're going to do now is go through a blank template from the Australian Guideline to Healthy Eating. Alright, as you can see, the template is empty at the moment. So it says what's supposed to go in there. So you can see the big orange ones for your grain cereals. The other big chunk of the pie is your vegetables and legumes. And then the 3 smaller chunks that you've got your meats, milks and yogurts, or dairy basically, and then your fruits. And you can see down the bottom you've got like your sometimes foods, all right? So what I'm going to get you to do is, with your diet currently, I want you to have a think about where you, like, if you can split what you're consuming into those pieces of the pie. All right, so let's go back. So having a look at the blank chart at the moment, do you think that a meal that you're eating on an average day is looking like that? Do you think that it's being dispersed in that fashion?
Yeah, mostly, for the most part.
What I'll do is I'll print out a copy of this, and I don't expect you to like carry it with you for each meal that you're having or
Yep.
anything like that, but just to have that image in mind when you are plating up your serves of food, just to make sure that you can look at it, have the very visual representation of how much of your plate should look like what it does.
Yeah.
All right. What we'll do now, finishing up. So as I mentioned earlier, the best way to find out, to assist with your goals, is to know a little bit more about your body at the moment. All right, so based on your results that you've given me from your profile earlier, you told me what your height and your weight was. So with that, what I'm able to do is get a calculation of your BMI. Do you know what a BMI is? Raya!
No, I don't.
Alright, so BMI is your body mass index, and basically what that does, it's not 100% accurate, but it gives us a bit of an idea of how healthy you are at the moment.
Yeah.
Alright, so there are a bunch of other variables that gets taken in, but good thing is your BMI is nice and healthy. Alright, so 22, you got a BMI rating of 22, which puts you in the healthy range.
Yep.
Alright, so then what we do is we calculate and we get your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. A good way to think of your basal metabolic rate is the minimum amount of food that you need to eat in a day to survive. So if you're in a comatose state, you would still need to be getting into your body this like X amount of calories per day for your body to function. So for all your organs to function, for you to not feel lethargic, tired, hungry, dizzy, all those sorts of things. So using this formula, what we were able to find is that your BMI is at 1,653 calories per day, which means that if you're not eating 1,653 calories per day, you're not going to have enough energy to function, let alone come into the gym and be pushing weight around, which is what you need to do to put on muscle. All right?
Yep.
Following that, we have your total energy expenditure. All right, so on the flip side of the coin, your total energy expenditure is the amount of calories that your body is burning in a day. All right, so again, without getting up, going to work, going to school, coming to the gym, your body is naturally burning X amount of calories during the day. All right. So for you, what we're able to find is that your total energy expenditure is 2,648 kilojoules a day. All right. So what that means is the golden rule of being in a calorie deficit, of weight loss or weight gain, is to know these numbers. All right.
Yep.
So if you're wanting to lose weight, you want to be in what's called, as I said, a calorie deficit, where you want to be eating less than the total energy expenditure, but more than your basal metabolic rate. For yourself, your goal is to put on weight. You need to be eating more than the 2,648 calories per day. All right, so what we can do is go through a breakdown of what is in those food groups. So I've got here back to the Eat for Health program. All right, so what we're going to do is you start with your foundation diet, which basically says the amount of kilojoules that you should eat in a day just as standard. All right, and then what we do from there is we get your extras. All right, so based on the fact that based on the amount of activity and everything that you're doing at the moment. So how active are you at the moment? Are you doing any sports?
I play squash 2 to 3 times a week, so about 3 hours a week.
And you were 24 and you were 186 centimeters tall. So I would say that you're moderately active, which means that you need to be eating an extra 4,300 kilojoules a day. So on top of the number that I just gave you, which I'll write down for you, of 2,648, you need to be eating at a minimum not even to gain weight, but just to be able to reach a happy state, an extra 4,300 calories a day. Okay, so we'll break that down a little bit further into what that means that you should be eating. All right, so we had a look, we went through the foundation diet of how you should be having your 6 grains, 2 vegetables, 6 fruit, 3 serves of dairy, 2.5 serves of meat, and 0 to 3 in your allowances for your discretionary items. So additional food groups, we need to make up an additional, what did we say, 4,300. All right, so in doing that, I've done a little bit of a breakdown for you in your additional food groups.
Yep.
So you can actually add an extra serve of grains, fruit, grains or breads, an extra 2 serves of vegetables, an extra 2 serves of fruits, an extra serve of your dairy, an extra half serve of your lean meats and your poultry, and an extra full serve of your allowances for like your spreads, saturated fats, oils, all that sort of stuff. All right. So your total diet, if you had a look at what you would ideally be eating in a day, is updated from what we said before. Your numbers have all gone up. So you can be eating up to 8 serves of grain, 4 serves of vegetables, 8 serves of fruit, 4 serves of yogurt, 3 serves of poultry, eggs, fish, blah blah, and still I'd only like you to have like 1 serve of like your spreads and oils, but 1 serve is plenty when it comes to like seasoning your foods and things like that. All right, so that's a lot of information. Do you have any questions for me really quickly?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty good.
Beautiful. All right. So just to summarize, we went through the dietary habits questionnaire and found out where you're sitting at the moment. We found out what your foundation diet is for someone of your age, and we determined what that was, and then we were able to determine how much extra that you should be eating, that you can be eating in a day to grab you your total diet. Hopefully now you have a better understanding of what the 5 food groups are, and why you should be striving to meet those per day, the recommendations in those five food groups, and the correlation that it will have with your goals.
Awesome.
All right, so that's it. No other questions for me?
No.
All right, well, a lovely meeting with you today. And if you do have any questions or anything like that, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I will send you a copy of everything that we've gone through today.
Awesome.
Okay?
That'd be awesome. Thank you very much.